Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to show you guys my setup for the mini months in my 2020 life planner. If you guys are not super familiar with my background with planning and all of that, I wanted to just quickly go into it so it makes a little bit more sense what is happening. I've had a couple questions from people just wondering why I switched from the planner that I used to use to the life planner again, and I figured it'd be a good idea to kind of break that down a little bit before we get into what I'm doing with the mini months. So for the last 3 months or so, I have been using the simplified daily planner, and honestly, I loved it. I love that it's seriously just to-do lists, because honestly, at this point in time, I don't have a ton of extra time to do decorative planning. And as you watched my plan with me as my new ones, you'll notice that I'm trying to just be as simple as possible and not worry so much about how it's going to look, although it's kind of hard to do that sometimes in the life planner. So anyway, I've been using the simplified planner and it has been going great. But the one thing that I have to say that I miss is just having everything in one place. And so that is what I'm trying to accomplish with the life planner. And you'll see that as I kind of go through and show you guys how I'm setting it up and all of that fun stuff. I love the simplified planner because I could just have like to-do lists everywhere. There's lots of extra space. I could have my appointments going and then break down like what I want to accomplish that day. But the thing that it kind of really missed for me was the monthly view. The monthly view, it's not super easy to find stickers for the monthly view, and I love using the monthly view. I need it to keep track of appointments and meetings and Macy's activities and my work stuff and all of that. So I know that places like Planner Kate and other shops have stickers for it, but they don't really have like kits designed for it, and that was something that I really missed having. So for a while I was using my simplified daily planner. I was also using a deluxe monthly and trying to use both at the same time. And I've realized that doing that, I'm not having them both used to their full potential. I would carry one or the other with me, and that's not really the point in it. Like, I want to have one solid planner that has everything that I'm going to need. The other thing that this planner lacks is notes pages. There are not notes pages in between each month, and there's only a few in the very front. So that was one thing that just really I struggled with. I needed more space, and the simplified planner did not have that. So fast forward to the life planner. I did decide to buy a new one. So this is starting in January and it goes until December, although I do the like academic year. So when the new ones come out in May, I will pick up the new ones. So one of the things I wanted to still be able to track is, one, I wanted my monthly view so that I could put our events and Macy's activities and anything that needs to go down in January. I also wanted to have like a place where I could plan my videos, and this notes page is perfect for that. I did this a couple days ago, just trying to like get stuff ready for when I'm going to have the baby, and so this is kind of my intention going forward, is the notes pages behind each monthly view will be for planning out videos. And then we get to the whole purpose of this video, is my Etsy cutting schedule. So in my simplified daily planner, in the past, I have used the monthly view as a cutting schedule. And honestly, this worked great, except for the fact that, again, I didn't have a place to put any of my events for the monthly view. So I pretty much just break down all of the kits that I'm going to have to cut over on the sidebar, and then I would write down like exactly when I thought I was going to have time to cut everything. I think the key to making sure you get anything done is having a schedule and planning it out, because if you just let it get away from you, it honestly doesn't end up happening. It ends up being crazy, rushed, and I never wanted to do that. I've done that in the past and I didn't want it to happen again. So this is where I would schedule everything out, and honestly, when I do this, it makes it so much easier. It makes it like a seamless process. But with changing over to the new planner, to the LifePlanner, I had to figure out a way to do this similar thing, but in the LifePlanner. And so I decided to use the little monthly calendars to do so. As you can see, I covered up the older months because, again, I'm not using them right now. And I put together a little key. So I just designed this in my Silhouette software. So I just have Etsy cutting schedule, and then I broke down all of the different kits that I currently have, and I color coordinated them based off of these Planner Kate transparent dots. So you can see I've used quite a bit, and I picked up both the solid ones and the ones that just have the outline of the circle, because I do have a lot of kits and I realized that I wasn't going to have enough stickers to differentiate enough. So you can see all the 7x9s are here, all the 8.5x11s are here, petites are here, and then like miscellaneous scripts and stuff are down below. So I already set this up, and the reason why I set it up, I honestly filmed this whole thing and it didn't work out, and you can probably see there's a lot of smearing and stuff down below, which I'll talk about in a second. But I filmed it all to show you guys, and then it just didn't work out and I was getting frustrated, so I came back to it another day, and that's kind of why I'm filming it after the fact. I love these transparent dots. Erin Condren has them as well. The reason why I decided to go with the Planner Kate ones though is because there's a lot more colors available, and I like that you could use like the same exact color ways, but just with the transparent like inside of the circle, if that makes sense. I'm pregnant. I have pregnancy brain. I am sorry if I don't make sense sometimes. I've never used these from Planner Kate, and one of the reasons why they were frustrating me is because if you like rub them too much, you get this like weird smearing. And so a lot of them were like the color was rubbing off, and it was just frustrating me because I have never really experienced that. She does warn you about that on her website though, so just kind of keep that in mind when purchasing them. But I did set up January for what I'm going to be doing for cutting. I've already gotten through all of the 7x9 stuff already, and so I'll just have to finish up the 8.5x11, the petite stuff, and then the scripts when I get back from my maternity leave from Etsy. I'm planning to open up my shop back probably the week of the 6th at some point, and then I'm planning to have new releases on the 19th, so that's kind of why that is in black. So I'll just have to get through this stuff. And I kind of put together a little monthly view of that, planning that out. As it gets closer and as I start like cutting again and just getting in a routine with the baby, I will definitely film more in and just kind of figure out when stuff will happen for the April stuff, the May stuff. But I didn't want to get too far ahead of myself because, one, these stickers rub a lot and I just didn't want to like deal with putting them on and taking them off and having like the smearing and stuff. But also I just don't know what it's going to be like once I have the baby, and I don't want to like overcommit myself or make it more stressful for me because I'm not meeting certain deadlines that I am putting on myself. So basically I'm going to use the dots to keep track of all the different kits. As you can see, for example, there's some kits that are combined just because a couple of things will fit on the same paper, and so like the weekly check-in page and the sinking fund page for 8.5x11 is on one page. That's kind of the way that I designed it, so I'm going to plan on doing those on Monday and Tuesday, getting those cut. Then I'll move on to budget and transaction, and so that's kind of what those orange are. If you see me like overlapping a couple colors, that's because I'm planning to get a couple extra things done, like a couple of the same, not a couple of the same. I plan to get like multiple things done on one day. So the variable income kits, not a ton of people buy, and so I don't have to cut a ton. So I'm going to try and squeeze that in the same day that I do the budget and the transaction log, and so on and so forth. If there's ever a time, like I'm kind of crunched on time in this situation because I'm taking time off to get ready for the baby, and I don't want to like try and cut the first week that she's here. I feel like that'll be too stressful. So I'm gonna have to cram in the petite stuff at the very end, which is not that big of a deal. It's not a ton to cut, to be honest with you. But the reason why I did the navy all the way to the yellow and kind of did a line through is because I need to cut all of those within those couple of days. So I'm gonna definitely play with this. I'm gonna try and make it work for me. At this moment, I think it's going to work. The main thing that's just kind of frustrating is trying to deal with the stickers when they smudge a little bit. That's gonna be frustrating for me. But I think as long as I put them down with like tweezers and I don't move them around, I think it'll be okay. And then just kind of figuring out a way to mark if I'm going to cut multiple things. I'm just gonna have to figure out a good way to like overlap them, because that is another thing that I kind of ran into. There are definitely times where I try and do like 3 kits at the same time, and so I just have to figure out a good way of marking that here. But I think this is going to work. Hopefully I gave you guys some fun ideas if you guys are looking into a way to use this. I've used these mini calendars for so many different things. I've used them for like vacation days, holidays. I've used them for Macy's school schedule. And honestly, every single way that I've used in the past, I just haven't stuck with it. But this is one thing that like I desperately need in my life, is having like a schedule. So I'm really hoping that this is something that I stick with and that it works. The other thing, if this doesn't work, that I was thinking that I could do is have the same kind of thing that I have here on this page and just use like, seriously, like just take this little dashboard thing, put it on one of the Erin Condren like big dashboards, clip it in here, and then just put the dots on the bottom of each day, and that could also work. I'm gonna try and do it this way, but we'll kind of see. The nice thing about planning and this stuff is that you can change it up and make it work for you. So I am being very honest. I'm not sure how well it will work. The first try did not work so well, but I am optimistic, and I'm gonna try my best to make it work, because it would be nice to be able to see like multiple months at a time, if that makes sense. So anyway, that is my setup for the mini months. I hope I gave you guys some good ideas. If you guys have any questions for me, leave them down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.